Welcome to another Whiskey, Games, and Nerd Stuff. And we are on week 6 of the solo campaign for Deep Regrets. And we'll go ahead and go over what we've acquired so far. So we have a Bone Well, which will allow us to retain unspent points of a dice. We have the Rod of Fortune, which will allow us to have one less point needed to catch a fair fish. We have the Cask L, which will allow us to get rid of 2 regrets. We have the Book of the Deep, which is going to let us peek at an entire row. And we have the Can of Worms, which allows us to peek at 1 fish. We also acquired an orange tackle dice, so we now have 4 dice. And again, this is week 6, and for those that have watched the first 5 weeks, do appreciate it. Would love to hear in the comment sections if you like it when I'm doing these a week at a time, or would you like me to kind of put those together and do like a part 1, part 2, part 3, where I'm putting a couple weeks all in one shot. All right, let's go ahead and coffee up, and we're going to take a sip of our whiskey and roll our dice. Okay, not a bad roll. Well, it's not the greatest roll. So let's go ahead and use 1 dice right off the bat to go down to depth 2. And let's go ahead and start off with let's do the big fish. Actually, you know what? We're going to do our Can of Worms. And we're going to go ahead and peek at a fish. So let's peek at this one first. This is the mollusk, middling and fair. Reveal all fish in this column. Okay. So let's go ahead and go for that. And then what we can do is we can reveal all these fish, and then we'll kind of know what we're getting into. All right, this is a foul fish. It is going to cost us 3. So let's go ahead and take these 3 to capture this. And I don't recall if we have this or not. And we have already captured this one and hauled it in, but we can still use the gold, so that's good. So now we have 2. And since we went ahead and revealed this one, now let's see if we've gotten the Ghoul Ray already. The Ghoul Ray. Oh, and before we forget, we didn't need to take a regret. So we're going to go ahead and take the Ghoul Ray, but we do need to take a regret card. And we're not going to look at these this time. Last time I would read them as we go, but we'll read them all at once. So this is the Ghoul Ray. Let's write that down. It cost us 2. And we did get a regret. And we'll go ahead, finish our turn. This gets discarded. Let's go ahead and move this to Tuesday. Let us coffee back up. Take our sip. We have a much better roll, so I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 so we can go ahead and go down to depth 3 if we want to. And let's go ahead and do the Book of the Deep right now. We're going to peek at 1 row. Let's go ahead and peek at the row of the bottom and see what we've got. So we've got the Trauma Leech, the Kelpie, the Massive Eyes. That's going to be 6. You know what? Let's go ahead and go for that one. So we're going to go ahead and reveal this. All players at sea get a regret, so we're going to get another regret. This is going to cost us 6. And we can go ahead and mark down that we got this. And because we know this didn't cost anything, we're going to go ahead and give that. This says give it to the player with the most regret, which is us. So we got that. Well, technically, I should have done this first and then this, but that's okay. So we went ahead and got that. And that was a quick day, but we've got a couple fishes that we didn't have before. So we're going to go ahead and move our spot to Wednesday. Let's go ahead and coffee back up, which means we're going to take a sip. Much better roll. All right, let's go ahead and get with this one, if I remember right. So this one is peek at 3 fish. Oh, so we get 3 regrets. Ugh. but we get to peek at 3 fish. Now this is going to cost us 4. So let's go ahead and peek at, you know what? Let's peek at these bottom ones. So we've got one that's going to be 4. Let's peek at this one. We've got a sea monkey that's going to be 4 as well. And let's go ahead and peek at this one up here. We've got a sockeye salmon for 1. All right, so let's go ahead and capture this. This is going to cost us 4 to capture. This is the mass of eyes, which we have not had before. 7 and 4. We have 4, and if I recall correctly, this was a 4 right here. But you know what? We're going to try something. Let's go ahead and go for the small fish and see what we can get right here. This is going to cost us 4. Oh no, it is going to cost us 2 regrets. Okay, we are definitely getting too many regrets here. All right, we do not have this fish though, so let's go ahead and write this down. And this is a quick week. We are already on day Thursday, so let's go ahead and coffee up, take a drink. Much better roll. All right, we need a number of fish because we've got a lot of regrets. So we're going to go ahead and kind of stock up here and see if we can get some good fish that aren't going to cost us too much. So let's go ahead and go for these big ones. We've got a sockeye salmon, which because we have the rod of fortune, this is going to cost us 1 less to catch. This is not going to cost us anything to catch. So we've gone ahead and caught it. Let's go ahead and flip over this one. This is a striped marlin, large and fair. It would cost us 4, but because we have the rod of fortune, it only is going to cost us 3. So let's go ahead and capture that. And I don't believe we've captured this, so let's go ahead and write it down. All right, what do we want to go for next? Let's go ahead and go for this big one over here. We've got a black scabbard fish. I do believe that we've captured this one before. Oh, we have not. So it's going to cost us 2. All right, let's go ahead and grab this. All right, so we've got 3 left. I think we can easily get a big one over here. Let's go ahead and see what this is. This is a large and fair manta ray. It's only going to cost us 2 because of the rod of fortune. And I do believe that I did the wrong thing right there. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick. All right, we went ahead and fixed that. We've got 1 left, so let's go ahead and get one of these small ones if we can. It is a small and fair triggerfish. It's not going to cost us anything because of the rod of fortune. So let's go ahead and grab 1 more small one. It's an eye fish. Peek at 1 fish. Again, it's not going to cost us anything because we have the rod of fortune. But we do get a regret. But let's go ahead and peek at this one right here and see if we can get this or not. Okay, this is a pram. It's going to cost us 1. It is a foul. We will get a regret. And let's go ahead and go to Friday and see what we can get. All right, let's go ahead and coffee up. Take our sip. All right, I feel like we've got some fish that might help us get rid of some of these regrets. Now remember, the bottom cards do have a lot of regrets, but let's see what we can get here. Let's go ahead and go for one of these small ones. This is a skitterfin. If you don't catch skitterfin, give it to a player on your left. This is going to cost us 4. I do not believe we have a skitterfin. Nope. So let's go ahead and write that down. All right, and we've got 2 left. We know, you know what, let's go ahead and try for this one. Darn it, we're not going to be able to get it. So that is the end of the week. What we need to do, we're going to go ahead and discard that. All right, first let's count up our regrets. But what we're going to do first is we're going to use our Cask L to get rid of 2 random regret cards. So let's see. Card number 1, heavy regret. Lived a life of isolation and misery. Okay. And let's get rid of a trivia regret. Oversalted my breakfast. All right, let's see what we've got here for regrets. Heavy regret. We fell prey to the ocean madness. Then we partook of human flesh. Ugh. Then lied about my age. I've never done that. Then gambled my children's inheritance away. Then we spat on a Bible. Then gazed too long into the abyss and never apologized. Naughty, naughty. All right, so we got 3, 6, 10. Oh, wow. 14 regrets on that one. So we've got to get rid of 14 of these fish. So let's see what we want to get rid of. And we're going to get rid of something that we've already hauled in. All right, so we're going to go ahead and discard these for our 14 to cover the regrets that we had. And then let's see how much we've got. We've got 8, 15, 20, 25, 30, 34, 35. So we've got a total of 35 gold. And let's see what we can get for 35 gold. What do we want to get that can help us out? Not sure how good these other ones are, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get a blue tackle dice. So that'll give us 14 left. And let's go ahead and get, let's see, for 14. You know what? Let's get the bag of maggots and black tea. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and haul in the triggerfish, small and fair. We're hauling into manta ray, large and fair. The skitterfin, small and foul. The varcola, if that's how you pronounce that, small and foul. The strip marlin, the massive eyes, and the kelpie, the pram, and the eyefish. All right, really appreciate everybody taking the time to watch week 6 and look forward to you joining me in week 7. Until next time, folks, cheers. Welcome to another edition of Whiskey, Games, and Nerd Stuff. We are on week 7 of the solo campaign for Deep Regrets. We have a can of worms, bag of maggots, the black tea, Book of the Deep, Cask L, the blue tackle and orange tackle dice, the Rod of Fortune, and the bone wheel. And what we're going to try and start doing is keeping track a little bit better of what fish we do and do not have, and then start letting some of those go. But let's go ahead and coffee up. Not the best roll, but let's go ahead and take a sip. Let's go ahead and spend 1 dice right off the bat to go to depth 1. And let's go ahead and depth 2. And let's go ahead and pick up this fish. Orca. Display face up in front of you. Cannot be sold or mounted. All foul fish cost 1 less to catch. That's a great one to start off with, because with our Rod of Fortune, all the fair fish are going to cost 1 less. And now all our foul fish are going to cost 1 less. So this is going to only cost us 2 now because of the Rod of Fortune. So let's go ahead and put this over here. That's a great one to start with. I do believe, though, that we already have caught and hauled that one. Let's just go ahead and double check. Yep, we have. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and use our can of worms. No, let's save that. We're going to wait. Let's go ahead and flip over this one. This is a halibut, middling and fair. It's going to cost us 2 to catch, but because of the rod, it's only going to be 1 less. But let's first see if we already have this one or not. I'm not going to capture it. Instead, we'll go ahead and spend a point to get a dink card to see if that helps us for later on. Attire, reduce a shop cost by 1. Hey, that's always going to come in handy. All right, let's go ahead and we've basically got a 3. So let's take this big fish right here. Black sea bass, middling and fair. It's not going to cost us anything because the fair fish are going to cost us 1 less. So let's just go ahead and put it over here. Let's go ahead and flip over this big one right here. It's a Halley's Folly, large and foul. All players get a regret. So let's go ahead and get the regret right now. It's good. It would normally cost 4, but because of the orca, it's only going to cost us 3. Now, I believe I already have captured this one, but we have not hauled it. So yeah, we definitely want to get this. So we're going to go ahead and get that for 3. And what we're going to do is let's just go ahead and use our can of worms. We're going to peek at one of these small fish in the hopes that it's a oneer that we can get for free. So let's go ahead and peek at this. It is for free. All players get a regret. Let's go ahead and grab our regret. And I don't know if we have a foot yet or not. Have we ever gotten a foot? It does not look like it. So let's go ahead and write that down. And let's just try Flying Gennard. It's not going to cost us anything because it's going to cost us 1 less to catch. And this is how we're going to get through a lot of these smaller dice. All right. Looks like we can't get anything there. So let's go ahead and coffee up for day 2. This card will be discarded. Let's go to Tuesday and coffee up. Much better roll. All right, with that, let's go ahead and get this big one right here. Grief Lurker. Give to the player with the most regret cards. If tied, well, we have the most regret, so that's a free one we're going to get. All right, let's see. We want to go ahead and get, what do we want to get? You know, let's just go ahead and spend the dice so we can move down to depth 2. We're going to use our Book of the Deep to peek at this row. So we got a barrel eye. Peek at a fish at depth 2 in the column. We've got a Hollow Earth Infant that's going to cost us 8. And then we have a Goblin Shark. Well, let's go ahead and capture this. So this is large and foul. Oh, wow. It's going to be 3 regrets. 1, 2, 3. Now it's going to cost us 7 because of the orca. So we're going to have 1 unspent dice. But this is a nice, good one to get. Hollow Earth Infant. 8, 9, and 8. Wow, that's going to be worth it. That's worth a lot. All right, so since we only have 1 left, let's go ahead and get something up here and see if we can get this one right here. A sheep's head. It's going to cost us 1 less, which makes it 0. So we're going to go ahead and throw that on top. Let's go ahead and grab another one in here in the middle. We have a Barracuda. We don't have enough to get it, so what we're going to do is go ahead and get a dink card. That dink card is a pocket watch. Reduce a shop cost by 1. Hey, I'll take that. All right, we're at the end of the day, so we're going to go ahead and discard those fish. We're going to move to Wednesday. We are rolling. Not the best. Let's go ahead and take a sip. All right, let's go ahead and start over here at depth 3. We've got a Goblin Shark. Discard 1 small fish. So we're going to discard 1 small fish. This is going to cost us 3 because of the orca. So we will go ahead and get that. All right, now let's see. Let's go ahead and go for this big one again. Oh, a treasure chest. Take the top 3 cards of the supply deck, discard the treasure chest. Take the top 3 cards of the supply deck, discard the treasure chest. Now, I've got to check to see if this is something that we can have in the solo play. So I'm going to pause it for a second. Well, it looks like we're going to be able to take that. So it's going to cost us 4 to get, which we've got 4 right here. We're going to go ahead and capture this. And I'm going to wait to the end of this round to grab the 3 cards from the supply deck just to make it easier. But that's nice to get. All right, we've got 1 left. And you know what? We do have this reduced by 2. So let's go ahead and see if we can get... let's go... Yep, let's go for this one. Murmur, small and foul. It's for 3 for only this turn. Okay. Oh, if you peeked at it. Okay, we did not peek at it. It's going to cost 5. We can reduce it by 1. But we can, what we're going to do is place the bag of maggots. That's going to reduce this by 2, making it 3. Nope, we can't get that. Never mind. I'm going to have to look into that and see if I played that wrong. So we'll go ahead and spend our 1 to get another dink. And we've got a syringe. Not bad. All right, that's going to go ahead and discard it. Let's go to move to Thursday. Let's go ahead and coffee up. Take a sip. And that is a great roll. So let's get these 3s down here. All right, so we've got the Gloom Orphan, large and foul. Catch automatically, display face up in front of you. Anytime you draw a regret, draw 1 more. All right. You can only fish the column where you caught this. Oh, no. So we can only fish this column for the rest of the game. So let's go ahead and, you know what? Let's just get these out of the way then. We've got the lanternfish, small and fair. Peek at the fish under this one. It's a 2-face, okay? This would be 3, but it's going to only cost us 1 because of the orca, so let's go ahead and capture it. And then we'll go ahead and fill in our cards later. All right, let's go ahead and flip over this one since we know what it is. Reveal a fish called No Face from your hand. I don't think we have a No Face. This is going to cost us 2. But let's just go ahead before we forget. Let's just use our reduce the fish difficulty by 2. This is going to reduce it by 1. So we're going to go ahead and get this one for free. All right, let's stick with depth 3. Skitterfin. You don't catch skitterfish, give it to another player on your left. We're going to go ahead and get it. It's going to cost us 3. So let's go ahead and spend 3 to capture it. And I'm just going to go ahead and go through this one. And let's see what we get. We've got a Kraken, large and foul, maybe caught with exactly 3 dice. Oh, I should have saved that bag of maggots. All right, we don't have enough to capture this because it was going to be a 6. So we'll go ahead and spend 1 to get another dink card. That dink card is reduce a fish difficulty by 2. All right, let's go ahead and flip this over. A porcupine fish. It's 2 for this turn only. If we peeked at it, we didn't peek at it. It is a fair fish, so it is going to cost us 3. We happen to have 3, so let's go ahead and capture that. And then we are now on Friday, so let's go ahead and discard the Kraken. Let us, coffee back up. Drink the rest of this. Great roll. And let's go ahead and start with the biggest fish we can down here. Oh, wait. You can only... where you caught this. Oh, that's right. We have to stick in this column. Sorry. I think I messed up. But that's okay. Let's go ahead and just stick with this column. We'll flip this over. Small and foul. We are going to get 2 regrets. It is going to cost us 4. But we're going to go ahead and reduce the difficulty by 2. It's going to get reduced by another 1. So it's only going to cost us 1. So let's go ahead and capture that. And let's stick with these depth 3s. Apothic Ass, small and foul. We do get a regret. These regrets are piling up. This is going to cost us 3 normally, but because of the orca, it's only going to be 2. So let's go ahead and get that. Now we have a big one down here. Let's go ahead and grab this. Phantom Jellyfish. Reroll one of your fresh dice. Oh, no. No, we don't want to reroll one of fresh dice because we had a 3. Dang it. So now it's going to cost us 3. Let's go ahead and capture that. Oh, that sucks. All right, let's get this big one right here. The plug. Display this face up on the table. At the start of each player's turn, discard the top leftmost fish in the sea. The top leftmost fish. So that's going to be this at the beginning of each turn. Well, this is Friday, so this isn't going to matter. So we'll go ahead and discard that. All right, let's stick and see if we can finish off this one. Deep worm, small and foul. We don't flip your can of worms. We've already used it. This is going to cost us 2. So we're going to go ahead and retain that point. And I don't want to take this last one because we will get a regret if we do. So let's go ahead and move to this column. Small and fair. Our fair fish are going to cost us 1. It does let us re-roll one of our fish dice. Our fresh dice, sorry. Still got a 1. All right, let's go ahead and flip this over. Green moray, middling and fair, maybe caught with exactly 1 dice. It's going to cost us 1 less, so we've got that. And we've got a whole 1 left, so let's go ahead and try and get this one up here. Middling and foul, if you don't catch scratch, give it to the player on your right. We don't have a player on the right. We will not be able to capture this, so that's going to go ahead and just get discarded in the turn. Let's go ahead and use our dinks before we forget, so we can get rid of 2 regrets just from the syringe. So we're going to go ahead and randomly get rid of 2 of these. So we're getting rid of the heavy regret, lost an eye to a goal. And we're going to get rid of nagging regret. Listen to the conscious lies. All right, we're going to use our black tea to get rid of a regret. Nagging regret. Confuse pipe tobacco with dried clam. And we're going to do the cascale, getting rid of 2. The stepped on my lucky cat's tail and the never learned to whistle. So what regrets are we left with? Nice, we're only down to 3. So our regrets are nagging regret. We cursed at a man. Then we killed a seabird. Then we lost my father's fishing rod. So we've got 3 regrets to get rid of. So let's go ahead and look through here and see which ones we've already hauled in. And we'll get rid of the 3 that we have already hauled in. So we are going to go ahead and get rid of the grief lurker to pay for our 3 regrets. And then before we spend our money, we're going to use the treasure chest, which is take the top 3 cards of the supply deck. So I'm going to go ahead and get the supply deck out and let's see what we get. All right, so we're going to go ahead and shuffle these up, and let's see what we get from the supply deck that we'll be able to have. Oh, that's right, we use that. So we are going to get a diving lantern for next time, reveal 3 fish in any order. I'll take that. We're going to get a Haley's diving bell. Move your boat down 1 depth. Oh, you know what? I probably should write these down. Haley's diving bell. Where is that? Don't see it. And we're going to get Curious Spyglass. Peek at 1 column. That's good. So we've got to head that. And now let's count up our money and let's see what we want to get with our money. All right. We've got 9, 15. We'll do 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 51, 55, 59, 62, 66, 68, 70, 72. So we've got 72. And we get to reduce things by 2. So let's see, what do we want to get? I think what we need to do is let's just go ahead. I don't know what it does, but it says Rill of the Infinite, and it just sounds cool. So let's go ahead and get that. That would be 68 by reducing it, but that's okay. So we're going to pick up the Rill of the Infinite, and we'll find out what it does next time. Now let's see what we're going to haul in. All right, so we were able to haul in the Apothic Asp, the Gloom Orphan, the Slitmouth, the Skitterfin, the Lanternfish, a Foot, Hollow Earth Infant, Goblin Shark, Green Moray, and we already got Haley's Folly, so I don't know why I had that in there. And a treasure chest. Really appreciate everybody taking the time to watch this video. Look forward to seeing you next one. As always, if you saw me do anything incorrectly, please say something in the comment section. And until next time, folks, cheers.